So now there are one project, one client is changed. They are using Oracle database storage system processing. They are using the Java. Another client is Deutsche Bank. They are using suppose NFS mount point for storing the data. And using C and C++ for the processing. There is another client who are basically using the Cisco. Let's say they are using the Teradata, using Java as a backend for processing. Another client is Microsoft. Let's say they are using the MySQL database and using .NET. They are going to process the data. Okay. So to get the data from different system to process the data, all this data I wanted to process in our Hadoop framework. So in this case, we are going to get the data from Teradata environment. What is the tool we can use to get the data? What is the name of the tool here? Yes, please. The name of the tool? Yes. Sorry, which one we can use? Scoop. Whenever you are using the MySQL database, which tool you can use?
It is also Scoop.
Correct. Because from any relational database, you are going to get the data into our HDFS file system, then definitely we can use the scope. Something we are using the NFS mount and then we are using the SFTP command or any kind of job. Okay. We can use some alternate job. We are using the, let's say, one of the client is using, let's say, client name like let's say AIG. They are using suppose mainframe system. And how we are going to get those data? Because it is mainframe file, right? We need some third party software. Third party any? Third party software or might use some job. Okay. Some kind of job. We need to configure and we can suppose they are using .NET. So to get the data from mainframe file system into the HDFS, we need some kind of third party API or job so that we can get the data from mainframe system. It is in different format, right? So we need to convert into our required format and load into our HDFS file system. Okay. If you are using the log server, then you are using, you need to get the data from log server, live log server, to use the Flume. This is how the Hadoop migration process will be carried out. In a big data Hadoop migration project, basically follow such kind of things. Okay. First, get the data into our Hadoop environment. Then only we are going to start processing. Okay. Till unless the data is not available in our HDFS file system, then we are helpless. The data Hadoop is helpless. So what is the facility of Hadoop file system? Slowly, we are going to learn that point also. Okay. So this is called Hadoop migration. Okay. In a typical environment, basically we will work like this only. We'll get the data from different system, process it. Okay. Processing, what are the different tools are there? The core component is MapReduce. From this, any other tools is there? Yes, we have. Other is Peak, Hive, but these days which are in demand, Spark. Okay, these are the typical pictures. It will gives you some basic idea how they're going to work in a typical Hadoop environment. Okay, so let's see the Hadoop architecture. One second. Give me 2 minutes. Okay. So are you able to understand this concept, right? So far,
Yes,
any
yes.
doubt? Any doubt?
No.
Okay. Then let's move to another diagram. Okay. Let's tell me. Okay. So I don't want to draw here. What is the best one? Draw anything. So in a Hadoop framework, okay, next topic is our Hadoop core component architecture. Okay. Let's say first of all, one is process. Okay. Then this one is your source. Source. Okay. First one is source. The next one is your very big picture it is going to be. Okay. After this, we're going to get one layer called data transfer. Let's say this one, a typical one. Better in this way, will draw the program. Hadoop component architecture, how different components are integrated within the Hadoop environment, and that is working out. That's the things we are going to learn now. So to understand this one, that will be okay. Let's see. Let's see. These one is databases. Another one is log file. Another one is, let's say, transactional data. Then let's see, images or audio. Images file. Let's see. These are different kind of sources we are getting the such kind of any databases we are getting the data. We might get some any log file or any transactional data or any image kind of data or any audio video files. Okay, this is nothing but your known as the sources. It is, let's say, sources. Then, like which we are going to draw another one. Equal Hadoop data different. Okay, let's say this. Yeah, let's say here another layer is there. Data transfer. Okay, the sources. Here, let's say data transfer. The data transfer layer. What are the different component you can use? can use different component like scoop, then home, then any LA environment, command line interpreter. LA means command line interpreter or any API you can use to get the data. Okay. Next one is, again I'm getting another layer. Okay. Let me to the HDFS layer. In under HDFS, what are the different things are there? Different processes are there. Data node, then name node. We'll see each and everything because I'm going to very depth of the concept slowly. Okay. Name node, then FS image. What's FS image? And everything we are going to see. Then your grid logs. Okay. And likewise, we are going to another set of things. This is nothing but your processing layer. Okay. Processing, what are the different tools are there? Anyone? That's processing. We're going to learn.
We are using Spark.
Yes. Many things are there. For batch processing, you can use the pipe, peak, and reduce. Okay. We're going to use this one for the batch processing. What is batch processing? What is real-time processing? We're going to see. Don't worry for that one. I will give you the difference later. Okay. Then your event processing. Then here real-time processing. Real-time processing means live data. Okay. At the same moment, what is happening? The data will be generated for that particular event. That data will be captured and processed at the same time. That is called real-time data or real-time processing. Okay. Batch processing means whenever what happen in a particular day. Suppose in a banking environment, what in a bank, the number of transactions throughout the day whatever it is going to happen, those transactions will be going to summarize and it is going to taken into account and going to process in some batch mode. The job that is running for generating different monthly report, quarterly report, those jobs are nothing but the batch processing mode. Okay. Historical data means data that is required to generate some report a particular period of time. Those data, whatever required, that is called to process those data, that is nothing but the batch processing. Okay. Any other, so we can do process over command line, right? LI, any API, using the do the process. Okay. Next. Our administration layer. What are the different tools are there to administration? We're going to use G. Then Zookeeper, then a client API. Each one's data is available in our system. Means under the Hadoop framework, these are the different layers according to the component we are going to use. Okay. Data transfer, we can do either scoop, clone, CLI, API. Then once the data is available in HDFS file system, there are different nodes are come into picture: data node, name node, FS image, edit logs, which are different process are available. Okay. Processing layer, what happened? Batch processing, we can do either batch processing or event processing or real-time processing. That is, if we are going to perform any batch processing, then we can use either Hive, Pig or MapReduce. Event processing, there are separate things are there, separate tools are there. For real-time processing also, separate tools are there. Okay, and also we are going to perform any CLE, means command line we are going to process the data. Okay. To manage all this workflow, how can I use? You can use Uji job scheduling tools, Bookkeeper, client API. Okay, and any customized tools also we can use. These are the basic process. Are you able to understand this one? How these are integrated one another? I will explain. Not an issue. Don't worry. Okay. Let me draw the diagram. Then I will explain. What happens in a typical Hadoop environment? As we know, Hadoop is going to store huge amount of data, and it will provide the framework so that we can process and manage our data set. Right? What happens in Hadoop? There is special file system called HDFS. So basically, it is going to store the data. Okay, in the cluster environment. That means it's going to store the data in some kind of file system. Store them in a multiple fixed block only. Okay. Each block, everything we are going to see in later stage. And some particular block is going to replicate numbers of times, so that there won't be any issue whenever you are going to get the data same copy or other copy. Okay. Any node which is going to fail, then we can get the same sets of data in another node. We can start our processing. Okay. Then, so Hadoop work in a multi-layer architecture. As you see here, the entire Hadoop structure, I'm able to see the whole diagram, right? It's fine, right? So Hadoop is work in a multi-tier architecture, we can say, because there are certain ecosystem tools are there in Hadoop that is used to get the data from upstream system into our HDFS file system. Okay, and there are some certain tools are there which allow us to process the data in the HDFS file system. So not only for the batch processing, we can use the MapReduce, Hive, and Peak to process the large data, but also store and aggregate the results into HDFS, NoSQL, or imported to OLTP file system also. So what happened? There are different how the data will be organized, the HDFS file system, how the data will be going to process from the HDFS file system using the different tools and technology. We'll see in the upcoming classes. Okay, these are the basic things. Here, Uji and Zookeeper both are responsible for the different Hadoop operation, and it is basically used to provide a high availability of the HDFS data, means Hadoop data. Okay, so these are the major images, whatever you can see, how the core component are integrated to each other. This is the pictorial representation of all the core component. In a typical environment, how the core component integrated. Okay. Any doubt in this?
This is the architecture, correct? When someone will.
It is the Hadoop core component architecture. Core component means there are different kind of sections are there. We need some tools to transfer the data. We need one tool to store the data. How I can process the once the data is stored, how can I process the data, right? Different kind of processing is there: batch processing, real-time processing, event processing. Event processing means any live data is there. How can I perform the process to process the data, real-time data? Okay, at the same time doing some event. Any event means login and logout. We need to record the data. So how can I going to process the data? We are using such kind of architecture. This is the architecture. Topic.
Means that what real-time processing is?
Real-time processing means the data, the moment it is generated, it is going to process at the same time. That means, suppose in a cricket, right now a live cricket match is going on. Okay, the score is not constant, right?
Yeah.
Every time there is a everything. Each time each fraction of each second or each minute you are going to see some changes in the scoreboard. Capture such kind of data and showcase and process, store and process is known as real-time processing. Okay.
Okay.
Any live stream, any live chat is going on, we need to capture such kind of data. Then from a live environment, that is nothing but the real-time processing.
Okay. Okay.
You are doing some transaction in the ATM center. You are going to ATM center. The moment you are withdraw some amount, at the same time it's going to update in the backend the bank account. That's real time processing, right? Okay. which are called real-time processing. What is batch processing? Calculate the profit and loss of an organization for each quarter. We're not going to generally process each day, right? We need to process such kind of data on a quarterly basis so that we can understand for a quarter how the business is going on. Okay.
Yes.
So that is called batch processing. Any banking environment or any bank, whatever the transaction throughout the day has been happened, those transactions which is going to after the and there are some EOD batches which is going to run each of the account to update. That is called batch processing. At the end of the day, is going to run that day particular how many transactions has been happened, what are the how many customers has visited the bank, how many customer has done withdraw the amount, how many customer has created the amount or deposited the amount. All these things takes into calculation. That is done after the closing out once the bank is closed.
Yes.
That particular day. That is called batch processing. That is not a real-time processing. Real-time processing, the moment data is generated, at the same time it is going to process, means it is real-time processing. Okay.
Mm.
Any other doubt? Lots of theoretical concepts are there. So I don't think I should anything else. And though that is not necessary at this point of time, but somewhere some point of time it is required in future. That's why I'm explaining depth way. Okay, slowly I'm moving into the lots of detail concept. Today's session is somewhere it is interrelated to tomorrow's session. Keep in mind. Okay. Tomorrow we are going to start with HDFS. First of all, see what is the difference between LFS, DFS, and HDFS. And from there, we'll take the class with the LFS, DFS, and HDFS. We are going to start with HDFS. What is HDFS? What is the importance of HDFS is there? All these things we are going to slowly we are going to see. Okay. HDFS is more preferable than LFS and DFS. All these things we are going to see tomorrow. So that's why I'm not going to extend theoretical concept for a more than 1 hour, because after 1 hour it is very difficult to digest. That's why I'm doing all these things in a chunk. If it is a practical things, then I can show you 2 hours also, not a problem. But it is a theoretical things, it is very difficult to understand or digest within more than, if it is going beyond the 1 hour, right? Okay, and November 2nd onwards, we are going to conduct the class on morning time, probably at early morning. Okay, be prepared for that one, so that every day 1 hour, not more than 1 hour. Okay, we're going to see everything in details. So don't now onwards. We are moving towards the actual Hadoop concept. Tomorrow onwards, we're going to slowly start with HDFS. Now we are going to in-depth HDFS. How the data will be going to store in HDFS. What is replication? How we are going to replicate the data files in a multiple nodes? What is the advantage of having multiple nodes? What is distributed and parallel processing? How can we are going to achieve the distributed and parallel processing HDFS file system? All these things we are going to discuss the upcoming session. Okay, thank you. I believe we're good for today, right?
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Let me stop the class here. So let me wind up.
Please share that note.
Sure. Yeah. You get the notes, everything. Let me document properly, then I will send you. Okay.
Okay, thank you.